football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a look at Melvin Gordon, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Denver Broncos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. The scene a few moments ago, here it is fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here. Williams, there are the numbers from a week ago. He was pretty prophetic. He said before that game, I want to get in the end zone often. He got there 3 times.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch a lot of footballs. That is important, but it's what you do after the catch that can make you great, and he had a great game last week.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Hey, stand up.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chargers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Hauschka with the extra point.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully he springs a receiver or 2 free.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Lock to throw on 2nd down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for, but now it'll be 3rd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lock. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This is taken at the 23. Whoosh. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position.
Ready. Hard. Loaded. Ready.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Well, this is caught by Williams. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there of 22.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh. Any weapon.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, they'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
What could he do, fighter?
Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. There's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. And he is closing in on the 100-yard mark for the day.
And it appears that he loved the fact that...
The Charger drive about to get going. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
You can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
A big play there on the catch and run. 49 yards. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score.
Let's go. Do it.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
21-0 our score after one. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Locked to throw on 3rd and 1. This is the tight end Fant. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage. Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
This pass finds its way to Williams. And an alley to run. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There can be plenty more before this game is over.
And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown. This will be taken about the 12. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, and normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. The Broncos on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. To throw it is locked. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Here's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
The Charger drive about to get going. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. 1 play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is.
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And a fake attempt here not going to work. Got a little yardage, but not enough to get to the goal line. They've got this big lead. They said, forget one, we want two. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to cloud them a little bit.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Locke. Complete. This is Albert Wilson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, but it'll be 2nd down. They'll try to draw Lindsey. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
On the set. Recon, 132 fighter. Get ready.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. He's got his tight end Fant. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 24-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Locke now on 1st down. Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out. And picked up by the Chargers. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around. And we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. A big run there, 29 yards and a 1st. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. They'll set up a throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one.
Here we go. Here we go.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start with the Battle of the Bay. San Francisco heading over to take on Oakland. And it's the Raiders who have the lead in that one. Hunter Renfrow, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll head east to Cincinnati to check in on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. The Patriots looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Tennessee Titans. Adam Humphries, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. On second down now, it's Lindsey, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Throwing his lock on 3rd down. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. Oh, now Lindsey lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, man, because you're...
And the ball is knocked out and picked up by the Chargers. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are, and now a terrific opportunity in. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be taken short. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they had the fumble last time. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Locke going to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Uchenna and Nwosu got the sack there.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Well, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Dances by him. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Here we go.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
by the time
we have to leave the booth. How about our reigning AFC Player of the Week, hot-footing it into the secondary on that run?
Yeah, nice long run. That's what got him the award a week ago. Maybe he's trying for 2 in a row here this week. He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Got his man. It's Williams. Touchdown, L.A. Mike Williams. 51 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken near the 13. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
4 yards on the pickup.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Lock. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That one a first down pickup of 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Dante Fowler in on the stop.
60 outlaw.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Steve Griffin.
On 2nd down, it's Lindsey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. That's complete to Smith. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fights free yet again. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all living on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
But it winds up falling incomplete. Mike Williams, the intended target. And now it's second down. 2nd and 10. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Casey Hayward, the Pro Bowler, there to knock it away. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. Touchdown, Chargers. Here's Hauschka for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. 5 plays. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dante Fowler. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing? See it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season in the locker room.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They look to throw. It's Locke. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Locke. Left side here, that's the tight end, Fant. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Clock now on first down. And this one complete to Smith.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Clock now to throw. Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out. And picked up by the Chargers. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. And partner the defense, they were keyed in on him early, but his talent shining through as of late.
I like what you said about keyed in because it all started in their first meeting of game planning for this game, where they went over things with their team and said, all right, this is the guy we have to take out of the game. Make sure you get enough coverage on him, all the different defenses. Sometimes you run everything you've got in the first half, and they adjust in the second half and start to play better.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Locke. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. Here's Locke to throw. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. Time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for our visitors, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.